amongst themselves. It's like when you host a party at your house and you put out like the chips and dip and people just kind of mingle while you're off doing other things. That's what they're doing, except we're not feeding them.
It would be more like if they were already in the house and then we arrived.
Yeah, true. Like they're like mingling around in the living room.
Where are they?
Where did they go? We're here. And welcome to today's live feed.
Whoops.
Melissa's playing commercials in the background just for the fun of it.
All of a sudden a commercial came up right in the middle of that, so that was weird.
There we go. So I thought we were about to do a live stream. It's been a little while since we've done one. It has been a very, very busy last couple months. Ooh, I am like just recovering from how crazy busy it's been. Yeah, I just wanted to really spend some time and share with you guys and chat a little bit and see how things were going. My son Jason is just randomly walking around in the background.
It's making us nervous.
Yeah, Jason, we'll catch up with you in a couple minutes, okay? He looks like he's about to make the dog go crazy barking.
We can see you in the reflection.
There he goes. He's tootling off.
Are you taking the dog?
There you go.
Real
Melissa, show us your china.
Oh, that is a good idea.
That's actually part of what we wanted to talk about today on that episode. It's very rare that I get to a spot where I'm actually really overwhelmed, and going through that china, I couldn't do it. I got probably 110 teacups sorted, and it was just like, you know what? We'll leave it for somebody else. But Melissa did find a set for herself.
I obviously didn't bring all the pieces, but you get the gist.
Okay, do you want to show them your wonders?
So first, I got the Alfred, what is that?
Meekum.
Meekum?
Yeah.
England. And that is the set. I'm not sure if you guys can see it.
Blackberry pattern?
Yeah, I believe this is blackberries with blackberry blossoms. But you know what, it's funny, my first thought, the dog. My first thought when I first saw this is I thought it was too busy to put food on. I was like, that's a busy pattern. But every time I walk past it, I thought, oh, I really love that. So, and then of course I got some teacups.
It is pretty, it's nice colors.
Yeah, you know what, I found the platter first. I'm like, oh, you know what? It's okay if I keep that platter. I really love it. And then when we were digging through that china, I found a lot of the set anyways. I was pretty happy. I didn't know if I could justify having more dishes, but I love it.
So here's what they don't know.
Oh, okay.
They don't know about the toys and they don't know about the dolls.
So what does that mean?
I'm just saying.
Don't say anything?
Yeah. Because
that sounds so bad. Like the...
Yeah. Since we did the house clear out, I've done a couple other estate purchases and clear outs.
Yeah.
And that video series will be starting in a day or two. It's just a short little series, and then there's a little bit bigger series happening throughout December.
It's really cool, you guys.
Really cool.
The toys and the dolls.
Yeah, stuff I've never seen before in my life.
That you don't know about yet.
But what that will end up being is so if you hear me in videos talking about, oh, I'll put this through the next auction, then you'll hear me talking about another auction sale. So we have a big sale that's happening December 3rd. That's this sale. Is it backwards? It might be. Anyway, we have this big sale happening at Castner right now, which is on until December 3rd, and that's the one with all the stuff that came out of that house. Including the giant predator statue, the rings, the jewelry, uncirculated bills, all kinds of antiques and collectibles. It's a big sale. There's almost 1,600 lots at that sale. Cool. Sergeant Reds are on with us. Hey, nice to see you guys. And so this auction got filled up really quickly. And when I bought this really massive antique toy collection, which I'll be showing you guys throughout the next couple weeks here, we decided to set up a secondary auction that's going to happen in mid-December. So yes, it's been incredibly busy around here. I've been sorting like nobody's business. I actually we had no room to really sort anything. So I had to take a few cars that needed a few little bits of repair done. I hauled them out to different various shops just so I had enough space to sort. Thankfully, all that stuff is now out of the house as of today. but you'll be seeing an adventure that happened, and it was absolutely crazy. The jewelry and diamonds and all that are in the December 3rd sale.
Yeah.
For those
How's
of you
the
asking.
snow? Ha ha. Hey. You know what? It's not so bad right now because
the roads are good.
The highways and the roads are just dry. If winter was full snow and the roads were dry, I wouldn't care how cold it got, really. But the snow's coming Sunday.
Yes, I did find 3 guitars at the house. Somebody said, did you find any guitars?
About the guitars.
Yes. I guess at some point I'll probably show what they are. But I did find 3 guitars. One of them is at the auction sale. And that's up for bids. I don't even know if anybody's bid on it right now, but that is up for bidding. It's forbidding, not forbidden. But then there are 2 that I still need to sell. One of them being a Martin guitar. So we really, found some really cool stuff. Somebody says, why is Hans not in the intro right now? That's some of you have asked that. We don't see Hans all that often anymore. He's busy doing his own thing. He's not really appearing in too many episodes, and so we just wanted to let him go and focus on his own work and his own channel. Because a lot of people who are joining the channel now really don't get the reference, or they don't understand because he's not on a lot of episodes right now.
And we'd rather that people just supported him on his own channel because...
Exactly, yeah. So we're still friends with Hans. It's just he's not appearing on a lot of episodes right now just because he's super busy doing his own Hans stuff.
Yep.
Let's see.
They said Hans went Hollywood.
The only thing I kept back out of the China and stuff. Somebody said, I want to bid on something. How do you know when it's up for bids? It's up for bidding right now.
Yeah.
You can just go to kauctions.ca. I don't know if I have a moderator on here who can drop the link in
I'm sitting right beside you.
Well, I know, but I don't know if you can drop the link in for the auction. But it's
I see.
kauctions.ca. And there is everything from that house that I thought was cool enough to sell is there. And all the China that I was sorting, 99% of it is at the auction, but I just basically put it all on pallets in bins, and I was just whatever. It'll go for whatever it goes for. It's just not in my garage anymore, and that's what I cared about.
This one ours?
That's our sale right there, yeah.
With that couch.
The only thing that I kept back that somebody said I'm sad that you kept that peacock. I'm not. It's awesome.
Oh my guys, my head is so close. I apologize.
We did keep the blue peacock that I found in the sauna of the house. I kept that. And I kept back a box of green glass. I'm actually going to show you right now.
You guys, I'm going to post right now the link to the auction.
This is what I wanted to show you. So if you see green glass like this, a lot of times I can kind of tell from looking at the hue that it's what's considered Vaseline ware or uranium glass. Now, you can also just get green tinted glass that isn't uranium, but you need to be able to see with a black light whether it's uranium or not. Now, a black light will make it glow, should make it glow. And so I've got my black light right there, and hopefully I didn't give anybody a seizure at home right then. They're like, ah! Walk in, watching that show, and that guy's flashing lights at the screen. I probably should have put a warning on here. But what you do is you take a black light, and I didn't want to sell any of this stuff until I tested it because I didn't want to say it was uranium glass without 100% knowing. So
did it just come today that?
Check. It's uranium glass. Isn't that awesome?
That's crazy. This is the first time in real life.
Is it really? Yeah. It's really cool. So what people do is they'll actually put a black lights in their showcases, and it will make this stuff glow. And you have a nice sort of black background. There it is without the light. There it is with the light. So you can see just how cool that is. Anyway, so this is a type of glass. No, it's not dangerous at all.
That's a great question.
If you had a Geiger counter, it probably is putting off a little bit of radiation, but nothing that's really, I wouldn't lick it.
Thank you very much, Nancy.
So if you have green glass like this, that's what it kind of looks like. I'll put it up. Thank you, Nancy. If you put a black light to the green glass, it glows like neon. So this stuff is really collectible. The difference is in value. An oil lamp like this, if it was clear glass, probably worth maybe $50 or $60 if it's in good shape on a good day. If it was green tinted glass, maybe $100. If it's uranium glass, you're looking at $300 to $350 for a lamp like that. So we had an entire bucket full of green glass, and that's why I set it aside, because it's super cool.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like, it turns it into like glow in the dark. So
it
anyway,
almost looks like when you light it like that, it looks like it's filled with glow in the dark smoke or something. Like,
it's not filled with Uranus. Mind you, I haven't smelt it yet, so I don't know. Somebody's joking with me on there. Will you continue to work with Patrick? Yeah, likely.
what, on his days off?
On his days off, yeah. The challenge is that a lot of people that I worked with in the past, I try and kind of find them or get their help when it's downtime for them. So Patrick had just moved back from Ontario. He didn't have a job. I was able to get him some work for a week or a little bit there, a week and a half. Then now he's got a full-time job. But Paul, my friend Rock and Roll Paul, he just let me know that he's the shop is kind of having some downtime right now. So he might be available to help me. So if I get another call like this, we might see Paul back on if Patrick's working. Who knows?
Well, that'll be good too. I haven't seen Paul in a long time.
Yeah. And for those of you that missed it earlier, Melissa kept the
What did it say? Mine says it on it.
Alfred Meekum or Meacham.
All of the
Alfred,
people that were so upset that I didn't show the bottom, I forgot.
Blackberry pattern. That's what Melissa kept, was that pattern.
There were so many different ones. Like, they're pretty interesting, but that was the one that spoke to me. Hi, Heather.
Let's see. Somebody says, have you ever considered taking on an intern that wants to learn more? Well, I kind of feel that by doing live feeds and doing my videos, that you guys are kind of all my interns in a way, and the other way around too, that many of you at home know so much more. Like I'm a decent generalist, where I kind of know, I know about old toys, I know about old watches, I know a little about a lot. But when it comes down to the nitty gritty, for me to know the difference in value between like a Prairie Rose pattern dish set and this Blackberry set, I wouldn't know offhand. I do know that English is better. I know that early Japanese pottery is better, especially if it's sort of see-through. But I'm still learning as we go. So we're all kind of just helping each other out.
That's where we're really lucky to have you guys as well. Of course, for all the support, but also because everybody is a specialist in their own categories, of course.
Oh yeah.
And that really does help us. Or when you guys catch things on the auction or on our videos that we might have spelt something wrong or put in a double clip, you guys let us know, which is so helpful.
And happy 21st birthday to Vanessa, who was saying they just had a birthday. So there you go. And I've learned about Pyrex a bit. Actually, in the last batch of stuff I got, there was Pyrex that'll make it through the next auction, which will be December 18th. We found some early primary color sets and some other stuff. So you'll see, trust me, there's all kinds of episodic fun about to happen. You got him?
Outside?
Yeah, he barked to get out. I put him out there when you were going through showing the teacups the first time around.
I didn't even see him escape.
Actually, somebody said that there's a little Swedish black and white teacup with saucer that I showed in my video that I found. And it's selling for like the equivalent of $150 over in Sweden. It is a very interesting sort of modern art looking teacup and saucer. So whoever bids on those bins of stuff is going to find at least that treasure amongst others in there too. So there you go. The thing is that unfortunately, I think all that China is local pickup, unless you bid on it and have somebody else pick it up and mail it for you. Because I don't think they want to be responsible for mailing all that stuff
Well, there's
out.
so much in those boxes. And I wouldn't want you guys to ever get a box of broken items either. That would be so awful.
Yes, I will be streaming. Somebody asked the question, will you be streaming the auction December 3rd? And yes, I'm completely planning on streaming the auction for probably a while. I'll probably be live for a while that day, going through stuff and watching it go. I'm not doing the color commentary. I believe that they've got an auctioneer that day. And we'll be watching things go up for sale. Update on the cars. I have been trying to thin out my collection. I'm of the mindset that I'd rather kind of sell off the things that aren't as special to me and focus on more things that are. So the MGA, the GMC, the Chevy truck, that's gone. things went with in the last couple days.
Yeah.
So I actually have room. Melissa's got lots of room to park in there right now.
He put the bikes in front of my car, so I pulled right up. He's like, what is this? I said I could open my trunk in the garage if I wanted.
Yeah.
But he couldn't walk, so there was that.
Yep.
What's your estimate on the Predator? Do you have a guess?
I have no idea. Okay, well, the Predator right now, hang on. Let's go into the
I
adventure.
forgot about the Predator. I mean, how did I forget about that? Somebody said, I'm surprised you didn't keep it.
Okay. I'm gonna take the camera down for a sec, and I'm gonna take you guys on a field trip. Look, there's my tea that I'm not drinking right now. So the Predator, oh look, it looks really blue. There we go. The Predator is currently bid to $550. They had an offer apparently when they were selling it of $10,000 at one point. Now that doesn't mean that that's what it's going to sell for.
It could be one of yours for $551.
Yeah, exactly. So to get on this site, you can just go to kauctions.ca and look for the Holiday Curiosities Antique Auction. And you can just kind of scroll through, like there's that really cool lamp. Cindy in Red Deer says, got my passport for just in case
Sarge
now
sent
it needs
a
to go
super
somewhere.
chat.
Oh, thank you, Sarge, and thank you, Cindy. So all this stuff is basically up right now, and a lot of it's just bid at like $10. You know, $10 or $12. So there's lots of neat things in there. Anyway, you can scroll through it on your own device, I guess, since you're at home.
His question was, do we miss running the shop?
That was Sarge's question.
Yeah.
I know that you guys just opened up your own store not that long ago, and I really enjoyed decorating the store. I really enjoyed the customers coming through and the socializing. But what I was finding was that when these big sort of clear outs come through, like when I'm clearing a house out, it takes a month or two of time to do it. And when I was working the shop and trying to do the Potter's house at the same time, that ended up stretching that whole thing out by probably like 3 months or more, trying to get everything done. So I decided that my focus was still going to be on buying and selling, but I wanted to make sure that I had the time to properly go and do these sort of episodes and do these adventures that wouldn't take me away from the business. And since we already own the building, as I think you guys do as well, you know, we had people that were wanting to rent both sides, so 2 different tenants. And when I did the math for it, it was basically the same revenue coming in from the tenants on 2 sides as it was for the profit when I factored in what the margin was and the expense to go out and get the materials and stuff. So I basically am making the same money from the building.
Except for you gained your time back.
But I got time back, yeah. And I also want to do more stuff with the family and more stuff with the kids. And, you know, it just gave me a little bit more freedom. So yes, there are times like when I got the last couple of collections in where I would have loved to have had the shop to merchandise it, to show it. But inevitably, what would happen is that we would have this great influx of product that would outweigh the local demand for those sorts of items.
Yeah.
And so we would have to do auctions to clear inventory, to thin stuff out anyway. And so we're basically in the same kind of spot we were in, but I don't have the fun of merchandising. I guess when I set up the last auction, the one you guys haven't seen yet, when I set up that sale, I got to decorate the shelves and everybody's like, wow, you sure have a talent for this, because I put everything up nice. And I do miss that. I miss merchandising of all things. Maybe I should just get a part-time job as a visual merchandiser somewhere.
You wouldn't be like, the thing is that the store wasn't the best use of our time, which is it was great to be able to see everyone. That's the part I miss the most. But when it comes to the business that we actually have to be out and doing stuff, and the store just made us kind of stuck there.
Yeah, I wouldn't say stuck. It's just that if I got a call to go look at a collection and it was out of town,
but then you were at the store.
and I didn't have, because a lot of times I would just work full shifts at the shop, and I would get a call. I might not have been able to go to it, or it might have slowed us down a little bit. So now I have a lot more freedom to go and travel around. And
So I
stuff,
said, come work at our shop.
I should come and visit your store at some point.
Yeah,
it
that
looks
would be
amazing.
awesome,
I don't
actually.
think you need help with your merchandising. You guys are doing a fantastic job with your shop there.
Yeah, we would just be coming to see you.
So yeah, and the other thing is that my channel is varied. My channel isn't just about the store. that is a big part of it. You know, that we buy and sell antiques and we do that sort of thing. But I'm also everything. We've been a cooking channel at times. We've been a car channel frequently. Vacation and travel vlogs. Our channel and what we do is pretty diverse, and
because
so
it's a reflection of our actual lives.
we're just basically we're I'm an antique dealer who happens to do a lifestyle vlog, and so a lot of the content is around the adventures of digging and picking and looking. But then occasionally we'll take you on a holiday with us, or we'll go and do other stuff. And you know, there's or sometimes I'll sing, which hasn't happened in a while. But anyway, there's diversity in the channel, and so I guess in a long-winded way, there are aspects of the store that I miss, but I really enjoy my freedom, and I enjoy the fact that I get to see my wife and kids more too.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're home more for sure. Somebody had asked maybe you could film setting up the house for Christmas. I think I'll do that on my channel, and then I'll actually get a video out.
You got to do videos. She
I know.
has probably like 100 videos she hasn't edited and put out.
I feel bad because I want to update you guys on what's happening right now. I don't want to give you like June's content.
I think you just got to put everything out.
I know.
You need a day to just edit.
So I'd be like, what is happening here? But then what if people think that I do like 50 videos a day? And
Yeah,
then
but
they're
if
going to
you
be disappointed.
if you tell the folks at home you're gonna put a video out and then you don't, they're gonna get disappointed then too.
True. That's true.
So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll do that one on my channel. Maybe it'll be on Melissa's. We'll figure that out.
It'll be mine.
Yeah. But yeah, we will start setting up the house for Christmas pretty soon here. I'm excited to actually get the tree up. Usually we do it just after my birthday, just around early
We might
December.
do it a little bit earlier this year.
Yeah, I'm not usually one. I really don't like stringing lights on the Christmas tree, and I know they make them pre-lit. We've had the same tree for like 20 years.
I just watched a hack that I want to try. I will film that too, see if it ends up being a disaster.
Somebody gave me a thumbs down and said no singing. Well, I guess that's why there's diversity in the channel, because some people like some things and some people don't. You can just watch the videos you like.
That's the beauty of the titles. You can be like, oh, this is something I want to watch today.
Not a Stitching Lounge says, congratulations on 500,000 subscribers. Will you be celebrating? No, you know, YouTube doesn't even do a play button or anything like that until you hit 1 million. Mm-hmm. And so I've got a long way to go before this. So I'll celebrate if we get to 1 million for sure.
Well, you have a play button for
100,000, yeah. Allison said, happy birthday, and sent a super chat. Thank you. I bought mystery boxes of China from Castor, and they do a great job of packing. Just saying. Well, if you feel motivated enough to buy a pallet full, you'll have your work cut out for you.
You guys, I love sorting. Like, probably something wrong with me loves sorting. And I honestly was relieved when Alexander was like, you know what? I don't think we're going to do this. And that's saying a lot. For me, I could have been there for hours sorting, and I was out even.
Well, you were wanting to go back, and I'd put everything away because...
But then you have to... It was just like the amount of room that we needed. And there would be like a box of teacups that did not have the plates. And then there were some that all of a sudden we didn't think had the plates.
Well,
and then we'd find the plates.
There wasn't a small amount of teacups. There was maybe 500 teacups.
Or more.
More. Could even be 1,000 teacups.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. It was... And
there
then
could
there would be like collectible and then like...
At $5 a teacup even with a saucer. But the problem is you'd have to go through and you'd have to actually find, like to find this to match with that. Well, they had packed all of the plates in a different box and all the teacups in a separate box. And so we really...
There's probably part of this in the... I couldn't find any more, but there's probably the rest of this set in the boxes. I made it look like we still have it here, but...
Yeah. Let's do China sorting every month, I think somebody said. I don't know. I need my garage back. I needed my space back. But we still have some bins to go through. Actually, there's a big bin of uranium glass of Vaselineware. So that has to go at some point, but those all sell separately probably. Oh, you should see the stuff that the antique dolls.
Thank you very much, Robert. Somebody said, it keeps going. Oh, Nancy.
Well, Robert Weir said $10, but Nancy said, is your home life as idyllic as I imagine? Kids never fight. They don't really fight.
Actually, our kids don't really fight. They'll argue and stuff, but
they rarely argue. It's
true. They actually don't. I don't want to jinx it, but I mean, they all have
They coexist.
Yeah. they all have their issues. Like they're human beings, so they're gonna have.
No, but I mean, like,
but they don't.
If I
fight.
think about an average day, our kids are probably like playing a game together,
Yeah.
or they're like chasing each other around the house or having fun. Like,
True.
they actually do get along really well. So
We were upstairs, Alexander and I, sorting, and we heard them downstairs, and I came to check on them, and you guys, these are teenagers. They got their own board game out. They were all playing the board game together. I like crept out sneakily. Not only that, they put the board game away when they were done and went and played outside.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Howard Clayton, yes, you can email me at curiosityedmonton@gmail.com. I'm still looking for, I still collect Redline Hot Wheels a little bit. I cooled my heels on a little while there, but there you go.
Curiosity.
So he said, where are the Dom Perignon boxes? The Dom Perignon is actually in this sale. You can bid on it. It's at the auction right now.
I was wondering about that. Curiosity Edmonton at Gmail.
Curiosityedmonton@gmail.com. Yeah. Yeah, I am always looking for cool stuff. So if you have really neat things that you ever want to sell, you can certainly reach out to me, and there we go. Lori Hodge has asked it a couple times now. If she said, I want to know how you and Josh met. I'm always wondering. Well, if you'll ask Josh how we met, he'll have numerous elaborate stories.
I fawn for some of those elaborate stories, and I know better.
Not the ones about how we met.
No, I obviously know that.
Yeah, but usually he tells a story. Josh is very good at spinning a yarn. And he'll tell a long drawn out story about how he was, we were, mountain climbing or something, and his rope detached and I had to save him or something. But the truth of the matter is, I think I advertised an anvil, a tiny little cannon that I had for sale.
Oh, yeah.
And he saw it online. He came into the store and he was like, huh, dude, this place is sick. Huh. And then I'm like, oh, what do you do? He's like, dude, I'm an artist. I'm like, oh, cool, let's see your work. And then he showed me and I was like, your art's really good. You should bring some of your stuff in. I wanted to encourage him as an artist. He was doing mostly construction and drywall at that time and doing art. He did have stuff, I think, in the galleries at that time. But I did a video. If you want to look back at my early videos, you'll see a fetus Josh, and I do a Ushitat studio tour, and that was like maybe about a week or so after we met. He's like, dude, this place is sick. And I'm like, your art is pretty cool. I got to show it. Can I come to your place and do a video? He's like, yeah, that'd be awesome. And so I went to his old place at his old house and we did a studio tour there. Yeah, there we go. That's how I met Josh. And Bob the Bottle Man's on right now. And yeah, he actually called me up. He was one of my very first picks. Bob called me up to go buy some Franklin Mint die cast that he had in his office. That's how I met Bob, he was selling stuff. Little did I know that the friendly man at the office was going to be the guy to buy and sell stuff off of me for years to come. There you go. So yeah, Josh is a very talented artist, and I'm always happy to support people who are doing wonderfully interesting things and are talented folks, because there's so many wonderfully talented people out there too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, Josh is a wonderfully kind person. Yeah, he's very sensitive and he's very nice. And yeah, somebody said the Alice in Wonderland book I've got up at auction is worth about $350. I did see that it's an expensive book, mainly because of the illustrator, but it's up there, no reserve. So for those people who are wanting the nicely illustrated antique Alice in Wonderland copy that we have, it's up there for grabs right now.
I debated, you guys. It's hard when you see all this stuff first, not to take it.
Yeah.
Our house would start getting full.
Have you heard anything from Sean lately? Like Sean, our drafter?
Or Sean, the ex-employee.
Oh, Sean, our old employee? No, I haven't heard from Sean lately. It's been a while.
Bob, welcome to Junior Explorers.
Oh, hey, Bob. How do I advertise? I will advertise basically on Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube, of course. And when we do videos like we did with the last hoard clear out that we did, I make sure to let people know, like we did today, that there are things available for sale. And really, it's super helpful to have an auction house on board with us because I don't have the time to ship 1,700 items. Actually, when I say that, it's 1,700 lots. And a lot of those lots are boxes full of things. So we're talking probably 3,000 or 4,000 pieces that are at that auction sale right now. And it just really is a big challenge to manage that. So I'm grateful for the auction house. Can I get a shout out for my 6-year-old who loves watching the toy finds? His name is Lachi. Boy, I hope I said that right. There's the shout out. So if you like watching the toy unboxings and finds, you are going to really enjoy the next series. It's coming out in about a week's time. So there we go. Somebody asked earlier what my favorite find from that house was. I mean, the Predator was it's really cool, but it wasn't my favorite find. My favorite was actually that peacock.
That is pretty good. So when you lifted the blanket first time on the Predator, were you like shocked that there was like a thing under there?
Well, because he told me it was sold, yeah. I mean, I wasn't scared that it was I didn't think there was like a metal demon in the garage.
Well, no, not that. But like when all of a sudden you see something standing there, and I imagine that it would have freaked me right out for a brief moment where I realized like, oh, calm yourself, it's fake.
No, oddly, finding a giant statue of a predator alien looking all vicious didn't scare me in the least. Being in the basement by myself alone, sorting boxes of just regular stuff, that's where I got creeped out, where I just had that like every hair on my neck stood up and I was woo! I think I probably made that exact noise too. Yoinks. It was definitely a that's so funny. I always joke about the Scooby-Doo thing, and then I was thinking like, how did he get that job? Like, why would you even apply for that job if you're that scared of what the job is? Like, can you handle pressure? Like, no! Are you gonna be okay in a jam? I'm gonna run like crazy! Why would they even hire him? Like, how did he get involved in that job? Mr. Inc. was not the best occupation for Scooby and Shaggy.
Somebody said they remember the silver bar when we found it. You guys, there were so many times during the Betty Jones clear out that we had huge surprises. There were just so many that we even just stopped talking. It was so overwhelming in a good way, but it was just so unbelievable.
It was humbling.
Yeah,
is what it
humbling.
was.
That's right.
It was very humbling in Betty Jones' place because I went in there thinking that I might get my money back and that it was just gonna be a lot of work. It looked like a lot of garbage, a lot of bean cans and stuff rolling around on the floor. Like it looked like a dirty, trashy sort of mess. And I thought, well, there's a desk. There was a drop leaf desk, and there was a piano. And I thought, well, if I just get those two things in this video series out of it, then there we go. But
we were wrong.
We were wrong, and I was so very humbled, and I'm still very grateful.
Yeah.
To have found that, and even more so that I got to meet her before she passed, and to kind of know her vibrant and effervescent personality, the bubbly flower that she was. It put it in perspective that, when you get to know the story of a person, I wish I would have been able to tell the story of the person whose last house we cleared, but they asked me to keep that private. But they were at one point a professional musician, which is why there was a couple really high-end guitars in there, and I would have loved to have shared their music and their story with you, but unfortunately that'll be left unsaid because that was the stipulation of me being able to film inside of that property. Unless they change their mind and say you can share who they were, unfortunately I can't share who they were. Let's see, what were you surprised most about Betty Jones? Was it all the lotto what surprised me the most was all the lotto tickets, somebody says. Yeah, I guess it's not like she needed more money. Could you imagine if she actually won the lottery, what she would have had in that house? I mean, maybe she did at some point, but what would you do?
The thing that amazed me the most was the way that she kept her outfits all like stacked together, how she would have them, like the shoes, the dress, the purse that would have gone with it, all in like a organized pile. Like it was amazing.
So 2 questions to answer. One, I have not seen her old Cadillac driving around town. I know it is. My friend saw it drive by one day, and it's apparently it was on the road a couple years ago even, but I haven't seen it. The other thing is, somebody said, has anybody been awarded a Betty Joan or Madame Rack scholarship? Yes, they had the first person get awarded a scholarship just this past year. And there was a lot of new immigrants to Canada, and that was one of the things that Betty Joan was very passionate about, was when people come to a new country, it's very hard just to get, a place to live and to get set up. And when I wanted to set up the scholarship, I asked her pupil that inherited the property, what would have been important to her, and that was one thing. And so there was a new family that came in from out of country, and they were awarded, and they're able to get a scholarship to learn piano. So yes, the scholarship is being used, and the people at the foundation are very happy that it's in place, and that should be in place for the next decade or more. So glad that we're able to get that set up. Did the Predator sell? No. Angela, the auction is actually on until December 3rd. If you're watching this live feed right now, you can log in to kauctions.ca and look for the curiosity sale, and you can scroll through and follow and see what these things are selling for. So for all of you wondering how we're going to do, at the sale, we'll do a live stream on December 3rd. Do we pay for delivery when we buy something? If so, roughly what it would be to have something sent to Ontario? That's really hard. Yes, of course there's shipping that's calculated, but
depends on the box, the weight.
Yeah, so if you bought like a desk, it's going to cost more to ship than like a flashlight. So I can't tell you what the shipping costs are like. I do know that they get discounted rates because they do bulk shipping. So their rates are generally cheaper than what the post office would be. They get, I think it's 15% or 20% less than what the posted rates are. And they pass that along to the consumer. But just know that shipping can be expensive on larger items, but since you're in Canada, it probably won't be so bad. All right, I'm gonna try and answer some other questions. Melissa's channel is simply Melissa Archwell, there you go. Have you found your next challenge yet? I found 2 next challenges, and I've already filmed them and dealt with them, and you guys will get to watch me deal with those challenges over the next couple weeks. So there you go. First time watching live. Well, welcome, Marty. Somebody said, I like the Canada, but it had a question mark. So is it like, I like the Canada?
That's what I think when I come and there's a bunch of snow outside.
I think I like the Canada.
Why am I here?
Yeah. Well, we like you too, on behalf of Canada. Yeah, so I've been really, really busy, guys. I basically, I did one, and that was a lot of episodes, and we're going through the auction now. After that, I bought a lifetime collection of toys and collectibles. Some of them that were new old stock going back to the 1950s. Really neat story. The person's dad had bought the contents of like a 5 and dime store that went out of business in the 50s, and they kept it in their basement for all those years. And so I have a whole bunch of new old stock 1950s and 60s toys that are going to be going through auction December 18th. That video series is coming soon. And then I thought if that wasn't enough, I got invited to another hoarded house, but this one local. They did not want me to film inside of it, but I was able to pick a lot of stuff out of it on my first round, and boy did I find some real treasures. So you'll get to see those videos actually in a couple days. I kind of filmed out of order because the toy stuff will come later, but the dolls will be the next video series, just a few videos. Am I still friends with Paul? Yeah, I haven't gone for coffee with him or anything lately, but he's been busy working, and I just wrote him the other day to see how he was doing, and he's got some time off right now, so I should go for coffee with him or something, or tea in my case. But yeah, I should go see Paul. Yeah, I would say in general, I'm still friends with everybody that I was friends with before, and met some new people along the way. Yeah, so there you go.
Michael said, remember that place that had a hoard that was set up like a little town? Have you ever considered going back there? Now that he's older, he might want to part with some of the cool stuff.
Who? I think that's going to be a situation where that was the mansion hoard. He's actually a roadside attraction is what it is, and it's in Saskatchewan. And if you're driving along the Trans-Canada Highway, you'll see this massive sign that's called like George's Collectibles or George's Museum or something like that. Anyway, he's got this beautiful old home, it's more than just a regular size farmhouse. It was a really like an estate home, what would be considered almost like a mansion here, because it did have maids' quarters and things like that, 3-story house. Unfortunately, under his care, I don't know why somebody keeps asking, Josh to not going blind. I don't know what's happened with Josh's health, but
somebody said he said it on a live, but I don't know. They didn't know if he was kidding or not.
He hasn't told me anything. He doesn't even wear glasses, so that'd be a surprise. Anyway, I'll get back to the story. George bought the place and it was in moderate disrepair. And since he's owned it, it's become in quite a bit of disrepair, and he's really filled it up with stuff. I ran into him at a coffee shop a year or two after I did that video. And I could always tell where he was because he drove like a 72 Dodge van, and he looked exactly the same. And people in that area know that he kind of has a little museum, and so they'll give him stuff. And so I knew he liked oil cans, so I found this funny little oil can that I think he didn't have. And so I was like, hey, I saw your van in the parking lot. And I went to, it was like a little truck stop gas station place, and he was sitting there having his morning coffee. And I said, we met a little while ago, George, but guess what I brought you? And I gave him a little oil can. And he said, whoa, this is a good day. And then he said, look what somebody else gave me this morning. And he pulls out like a 1909 porcelain motorcycle license plate, probably worth $5,000 or $6,000, and somebody just gave it to him. So he's got stuff like crazy, but no, he wasn't interested in selling anything. And I think even if his health declined or he decided to sell, I think you'd have to wait until some kind of estate. Unfortunately, a lot of times people just throw things out. So if it went, I don't believe he has any living relatives. So if it went to the county, a lot of times they just bring in like a dump truck and a bulldozer and clear everything out. So much stuff is lost. I've pulled so many good things out of dumpsters for people who quite literally become exhausted going through a hoard or a thing like that. And I remember being in his house and there was a cereal box on the floor and there was lots of garbage all over. And I picked up the cereal box and inside was a Buffalo oil can, which Buffalo Motor Oil is one of the most desirable oil cans, worth several $1,000s. It was lying on a floor in like a cornflakes box. Now, for your average person who goes in there, they're probably gonna arm sweep stuff into a bag and not look. That's why you hope that somebody who's gonna really look through stuff is gonna be either another dealer like myself or somebody who's patient and can go through it. Josh definitely said he was told he's going blind and was given a year. What? Okay, sounds like I gotta get in touch with Josh because that's news to me.
So, somebody I know, hold on. They said that Josh had said that it was a result of his headaches, but that they'd ruled it out. That's what I...
Okay. Well, do you want to get rid of that one?
I'm working on it, I'm working on it. Heather's faster
so guys,
than me.
I don't know what's happening with Josh right now. I will find out. Honestly, I don't like to talk about other people's health without them present because I don't know, frankly. And I'm not one to speak about what's going on with Josh. I know last time I saw him, he didn't mention anything about it. And that was just a few weeks ago. So if you're interested to know, I'd recommend definitely chat with Josh. Of course, we hope that his health is well as we would anybody. But I'll probably, after this live chat, I'll text him and ask what's going on.
Anything happening with the old store?
Yeah, our old store. Okay, we still own it. Our tenants are setting up the ice cream shop had a really successful summer, and they're very happy with the location and everything went good. So the ice cream shop is doing good. Of course, business is a little bit lower right now because it's Canada, it's cold, and it's ice cream. But they've added coffee and some other offerings to the business, and I guess they're starting to get their regulars in the morning who come in for ice cream. After dropping the kids off, they'll go in there. So Bob, you'll have to stop in and have a coffee with Romeo there at some point.
He said he wants to meet up and we'll go for lunch or supper when the restaurant opens.
Yeah, when the restaurant opens, we'll definitely have to do a meetup there. The food's quite good. The food that they have there is excellent.
Yeah, he had it too at their old location.
Yeah, and so the other spot, which is Sabor de los Andes, it's going to be a Colombian. It's Colombian, right? Yes, it's Colombian. My mind went blank for a minute. It's a Colombian restaurant.
It's
so
delicious.
Empanadas and things like that. And their food is quite good. They've operated a food truck in town for a number of years, very successfully.
They're amazing people as well. Both
wonderfully
sides.
kind, wonderfully nice people. But you know, they've run into issues with their construction and they're working through it and they're trying very hard to get open for I'm thinking December or early January. So we are just waiting to hear from them. But they've added in like 2 extra bathrooms. So that little space has 3 bathrooms now.
Like where the bathroom was?
They've built it out into the store space. They've changed the layout a tiny bit, as in a lot.
Can we just like give them creative freedom? Like to...
Yeah. And
There's
they're building out a professional kitchen in the back. And they are gearing up to open in the next month or 2 here. So we are definitely looking forward to having their restaurant open up and for them to be successful. And I think those 2 businesses will play off each other well, where you can go there for dinner and you can grab dessert either in the restaurant or go next door for ice cream and a coffee. So nice to have a couple little places. Adds a lot of interest to the neighborhood as well. Our dog is freaking out in the background for some reason. Not sure why.
It's because we're on the live.
Oh, Heather says, tell them I'm going to need them to be open when I come. My sister Heather is going to come visit me in January. The restaurant is called Sabor de los Andes. And it's Colombian food and it's delicious. And the people that own the restaurant, it's a family-owned business and they're just the loveliest folks. Very, very kind, gentle, nice people who make very good food. And wishing them much success with their business. Yeah, so try and answer some other questions for you guys too.
Somebody said Kastner calls you Archibald.
Yeah, I saw they spelled that wrong. It's okay. They're not the first. Kastner Auctions must wonder what the heck hit them over the past few months. Yes, they definitely were like, when as soon as I knew that I was going to get that house, the first thing I did is I texted the owner of the auction house and I said, are you ready for an auction sale in December? So I had already pre-planned that there'd be an auction because I don't want to be storing this stuff forever. So the first call I made after agreeing to buy the contents of the house was to the auction house to make sure we could set up a date. So we got that December 3rd is set up for the big auction. And then we did all these other buys and all that other cool stuff, which you'll see very soon in future videos, is going to be December 18th. But yeah, if you want to see some of the things that I separated out, even if you're just curious to know, like, what did Alex, when he went into that house, if you want to know, when I went into that house and I saw all that stuff, what did I pull aside to individually lot? How did I lot the auction is probably going to be of interest to you guys as well. Just, you know, my mindset of what I thought was collectible or more interesting or more unique, what deserved its own lot versus what deserved to be put in a box with a bunch of other things. You know, in some cases, just goofy stuff. Like there's this really big ceramic piggy bank and it's ridiculous, but it's the sort of thing that if I put it in a box with a bunch of other stuff, it might not even get noticed. But when you sell it individually, then somebody's going to go, oh yeah, that's super cool. And so, yeah, people are bidding on it right now. It's just highlighting stuff. I honestly just trust my gut 80, 90% of the time. It's, you know, a combination, I guess, of having some experience with buying and selling, but also just trusting my gut. If I think something is cool, somebody else is going to think it's cool too.
Do you only sell at auction, like costume jewelry in bulk?
Well, there is jewelry at this auction sale and there is some bulk jewelry at this auction sale. Occasionally you'll see me list things for sale on Instagram or Facebook. But for the most part, I try and put it up at auction. In part two, like we had the featherweight sewing machine and a lot of people wanted the featherweight sewing machine. And so you could just sell it to somebody. But then, you know, you've made 5 or 6 other people a little upset because they didn't have a chance at it. And so instead of selling it at a higher price to one person, you put it up no reserve and just let them figure out whatever the value should be, and whoever wants it the most had an opportunity to buy it. So it feels a little bit more fair that way when you put stuff up for sale and you start it at, you know, $7 or $10. So yeah, the Predator is at $500 right now. It's probably worth 10 grand or something like that. And it's got, you know, it'll end December 3rd. We'll see how it goes. My brother used to work for Christie's auction house in New York City. I always thought that business was fascinating. Interesting. Well, I mean, that's a whole other ball game when you get into the Christie's stuff. They are so particular with what they will sell. I had a pear case solid gold 1700s pocket watch that was stunning with all the different compartments and filigree and everything. Wasn't up to Christie's standards. I was like, well, they've sold other watches like that. No, it wasn't up to snuff for them. I've never had them accept anything from me for auction, so I kind of stopped even trying. And I've had neat stuff, you know, like we've had Picassos and all sorts of cool things, but no, I pretty much just advertise my own stuff, sell it through auction, and it's worked out okay so far. So we'll probably keep at it. For the most part, these auction sales generally do okay. And I think with Christmas being here, and this is a really neat sale with lots of cool stuff, I think it'll be good. Any other questions?
I missed Allie's because they said, I guess I will email my question. Too bad you didn't write it just then. I could have seen it.
They didn't show us any of the bedrooms, I think, because of privacy. Which bedrooms?
When we did the walkthrough, we didn't do Steven's bedroom.
Oh.
When we did the walkthrough
Of our house?
No, of their house.
No, I meant Melissa. I meant it could have been the hoarded
No,
house.
this house. It's because they got when we did the walkthrough, we didn't show Steven's house, our room. He wasn't home either, so we didn't want to just go in his room.
Right. I just wasn't sure which house they were talking about. Yeesh.
No.
Okay. Anyways, guys, it's late.
Do you think that we'll end up doing like maybe, I don't know if we'll do, did we even show the basement?
No, because we didn't have it finished yet. We didn't have the pool table in or any other stuff.
Now they know there's a pool table.
People are trying to take bets on what the Predators sell for. Somebody said $5,000 is their guess. We'll see. We shall see. I don't know. It'll go for whatever it goes for. And somebody said, why didn't you put a reserve on the Predator? Well, I don't have a use for a 7-foot tall metal Predator statue, as cool as it is. And somebody out there will have a chance at it for no reserve. So if somebody out there wants it, it could be crated up and shipped, or it could be picked up local or whatever. And why not have somebody else be happy with it? Honestly, I'm...
How much do you think it weighs?
Probably a few hundred pounds.
Like, how did you guys get it out of there?
So
there were pieces off of it because they had to put it back together.
Well, we didn't know it came apart at first.
Oh.
It comes apart in sections. I didn't know that at first. What I did is I backed the trailer up on the driveway of the house, and I took a flat dolly that we happened to have there. We had a flat cart, and I wheeled it up to him, and then Patrick and I both got on his shoulder, and we used his ankles as leverage, and we just basically tipped him back onto the cart and wheeled him. Help! That's Predator. Help!
Oh my goodness. It would have been so heavy though, like as you were lowering it down.
No, because when you're using leverage, you've only got like maybe half the weight. Right? Because the other half of the weight's on the ground. So we only had
you had to lift him up onto the...
Well, that's the other thing. I had moving blankets in the back of the truck. And so I wheeled him right up to it. He was on moving blankets. And when I got to the truck, all we had to do was slide him on the moving blankets into the back. It was easy peasy.
Oh, that doesn't sound easy peasy.
Use your brains and not your brawns, and that'll save your back when you can.
My back would have been toast. I already know I would have tried and...
There was a moment when I'm heaving and hoeing on the Predator, and you realize that you've grabbed Predator's crotch, which is like a skull covering his groinal, assuming that's where Predators do their business. It still felt invasive, even though it's a metal statue and that was the best place to kind of maneuver. You're like, yeah, never thought I'd get that up close and personal with the, it was like a Predator's got a skull for like a baseball cup, like a protective cup. Maybe he's playing baseball, like he's on the softball league. After work, he's like, guys, I gotta gear up. And he takes his big sword thing and, yeah, anyway, there you go.
Somebody said Ali was asking about the Aqua McCoy pottery.
Oh, yeah, the McCoy pottery's up for auction. Yeah, it's there.
Is it?
Wait, hang on. No, you kept those.
What is it?
The flower pots. They're like the two teal.
Oh, I'm looking at them right now.
Melissa kept them because...
I forgot I kept them.
There was other McCoy pottery, but Melissa kept the two teal McCoy.
It matches my parrot on the fireplace, you guys.
Yeah.
I put my ivy in it.
She did. She's using them as flower pots.
I'm looking at it right now. It's got ivy in it.
There's lots of other good stuff, though.
I didn't even know that's what that was. I just thought it was awesome and matched my stuff.
Yeah, somebody said, I like that people are answering questions because somebody asked what happened to the China, and somebody else said, oh, it's going to auction in bulk. Yes, that's true.
Except for with local pickup.
Yeah, or they could just come pick it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what I've been up to. 2 hoarded adventures, 1 massive estate clear out, setting up for 2 auction sales, inventorying everything, getting it there, getting it set up, getting it out of the garage. I have been nonstop pretty much every single day. I'm only starting to feel as though my life is getting back on track now, and I still have some bins of stuff to sort, like the uranium glass. And for those of you that missed earlier, uranium glass, green, with a black light, glow in the dark, which is why everybody loves this stuff so much, because honestly, it's the coolest glassware in my opinion.
Did they purposely make it like that to glow?
No.
Or just...
They didn't have, I don't think they even had black lights back in the
I forgot.
18
This is
or
why he does the
1900s.
antiques.
It's just, they used it to tint the glass green, and as a side effect, uranium glass will glow like neon.
Do you think they make this now?
No, I don't. They tend not to make stuff that sets off a Geiger counter, because you'd have some kid, stuffing his face with it, and like, my kid's face glows green now. Like, well, guess what? So this is why people like this stuff. The uranium glass is super duper cool, and yeah, if you have black lights in a showcase, this is what your showcase looks like. It's amazing. Your whole showcase will glow green like this. It looks really cool. So I had a lot of customers that would come in and gladly buy up uranium glass, and that is still one of the very collectible glasswares out there for obvious reasons.
I just put up the link for the auction, and one more time for those that might have missed it, the pattern on the...
Yeah, but guess what yours doesn't do?
Oh, that is pretty awesome. I have to admit that I have seen it before, but not in actual real life. That's crazy. That slightly blows my mind.
I should keep this black light for next time Patrick and I stay in a scuzzy motel.
Yeah, somebody asked if it...
And I'll like do the crime scene, and maybe I don't want to see.
No.
I won't want to see, will I?
This
is how I'll pick my bed. Patrick, I'm going to take the one on the left. No reason.
I was watching something that said, if some stranger ended up wiping their face or nose all over a towel, you'd probably be like, okay, have a nice day, and then chuck it out. But we like gladly dry off in a hotel and we're like, smells nice.
Yeah, sorry, somebody else was saying there are other colors of uranium glass, and yeah, there is blue and pink as well.
Somebody said that there's some in yellow.
Yeah, if it has uranium salt in it, used to tint, it'll do that.
What is uranium glass?
It's like, uranium, like you're gonna build a nuke out of it. I don't know. It's a highly toxic I don't know. Apparently they use it for things that normal people wouldn't normally use it for. And I guess don't you remember like back in the well, maybe you don't remember, but in the 50s, you could actually buy a Geiger counter to go and try and find uranium. There was even a Bowery Boys movie, this is going way back to the 40s, where they were actually hunting uranium because people were using it for stuff like this, and then, people probably started to glow and they were like, maybe we shouldn't do that. They mine it in Ukraine still. Interesting. Fancy that.
Is it safe to eat? Somebody said it was safe to eat off of.
Yeah, as far as I know, it's safe. It's in the glass.
We don't know for sure.
I don't know. It's cool to look at anyway.
Yeah, it's cool either way.
So yeah, there we go. Lots of stuff up for sale. Lots of adventures to be had. You guys are going to have a whole bunch of cool things to watch. And for you guys at home that were asking, that are doll collectors, you will definitely want to stay tuned for the next few videos, because I found some stuff that I've never seen before in my life.
Mm-hmm. I'm not a doll collector by any means. I don't really find them usually interesting, and this was interesting to me, so.
Yeah, but it's not just dolls. There was toy cars and trucks and antiques and jewelry and all kinds of things.
Yeah,
so
it was cool.
It was a fun adventure. So there we go. But guys, I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Thank you all so much for the super chats that were sent through. And I hope I answered your questions for you. Somebody said that uranium glass has as much radiation as a potato.
A potato.
Potato.
We should all stop eating potatoes then.
Glow-in-the-dark French fries. Anyway, on that note, guys, have a wonderful night. We'll see you all soon. And as always, bye for now.
Good night, everyone.
Bye, guys.